Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tammy's Takes. So, as you know, these episodes are based off of my amazing interviews with our guests. And this episode is based off my conversation that I had with Meg DeMatteo. So she kept saying something, and I get off these podcasts and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much more I want to say. I could talk to these people forever and ever. But what we talked about was something that she said that really stuck with me. And I kept thinking, how many of us make the mistake of thinking that our survival personality is who we really are? I mean, think about that. How many of us do that? If you grew up walking on eggshells, let's say maybe you became the peacemaker, right? If you were constantly criticized, maybe you became the perfectionist. If you never felt emotionally safe, maybe you became the person who never asked for help. If love felt unpredictable, what could you have done? Maybe you became the people pleaser. Here's what's interesting. We do these things for so long that eventually we stop questioning them. We don't say things like, I'm acting like this because I learned it. We actually say, this is the way I am. It's just who I am. It's who I've always been. I've always been worried. I've always been anxious. I've always been the person to take care of everyone. I've always put myself last. But have you really? Or let's think. Let's think for a minute. Is that simply who you had to become? Because those are two completely different things. One of the things that I ask clients all the time is, who taught you that? And you have to really stop and think about that when you ask yourself that. Who taught you that your needs came last? Who taught you that your self-worth depended on performance? Who taught you that being quiet is what actually kept you safe? Who taught you these things? Was it your mom? Was it your dad? Was it your caretaker, your teacher, your coach? Who was it? I mean, there's so many of those questions that we learned and we don't even know sometimes who taught us. So we have to think about that, because here is what I've learned after working with so many adult children. Most of us aren't living from our true identity. We're living from adaptations, and adaptations are absolutely amazingly brilliant. So I never want people to think I'm criticizing them for the way they act. Your nervous system was incredibly intelligent. It figured out how to survive. It protected you. It kept you connected to the people who the people you depended on, the people that were supposed to be your caretakers and the people that were supposed to be keeping you safe. It kept you connected to them. The problem is not that you adapted. That's not the problem. The problem is that nobody ever came back to you and said, hey, Tammy, tell your nervous system this. Tell your nervous system you don't have to be that person anymore. So today I'm going to ask you something, and I want you to sit and really think about this. Not because I expect you to have an answer immediately, because honestly, you probably won't. But because I think in the end, and at the end of the day, it is one of the most healing questions you can ask yourself. And that would be this: who would I be if I no longer believed I had to survive? Just think about that for a second. Imagine that. Would you speak up more? Would you finally rest without feeling guilty? Would you stop apologizing to everybody? Would you start setting boundaries and actually sticking to them? Maybe you'd laugh a little more. Maybe you'd dance out in public. Maybe, just possibly, you would even trust yourself a little more. Maybe you'd believe you were enough. Who knows? Sometimes people tell me, Tammy, I don't even know who I am anymore. And I remember those days that I was like that. And what's my answer? I tell them it's okay. Healing is not about creating a brand new person. People always say, I want to be a new me. You don't want to be a new you. You want to uncover the person who has been there all along, the one underneath the fear, the one underneath the hypervigilance, underneath the people pleasing, underneath the abandoning yourself. That's who you want to become, not someone else. Simply come home to yourself. That is my goal for everybody listening to this podcast. So today, here's something I want you to do, and just try it. Let me know. Grab a journal, grab a piece of paper, grab something, and ask yourself this question. I want you to write it down. Who would I be if I no longer had to survive? And don't overthink it. Just start writing. I call it word vomiting. Just start putting stuff on the paper. No editing, no judging. Just write the answer, whatever comes to you. You might be surprised. Honestly, you might be really surprised about what comes out. So if this brought something up for you today, I want you to know you do not have to figure it out by yourself. If you'd like someone to walk this journey with you, please reach out to me, book a free call, book an energy scan, take my course, Trials to Triumph. It is a beginner's guide and an adult child's beginning roadmap to your healing journey. I did design this course specifically for adult children who are ready to stop surviving and start actually living. So right now, if you go to the show notes, it's 90% off. Just use the coupon code Thrive25 and you're going to get 90% off the course. And I'll walk along with you. Guys, you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to do this alone. I promise you. I encourage you, if you did not hear the episode yesterday with Megan DeMatteo, sorry. I know her name is spelled DeMatteo, but we went through this whole thing and she pronounces it DeMatteo, and who am I to take her name from her? So if you did not see the message or hear the message yesterday with Megan DeMatteo, check it out. Check it out. We talked about your identity. We talked about healing. We talked about people pleasing. We talked a lot about journaling, and we talked a lot about just getting back to your authentic self and being the you that you were born. I think if you listen to that episode, it is a conversation that you will carry with you for a long, long time. So until next time, remember, you are not broken. You just adapted. And underneath every single survival strategy is the person that you have been all along. God bless you guys, and I hope to see you back real soon. Thanks a lot. See you next week. Bye-bye.